What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. Game week 12 midweek deadline is here. It's time to have a look at my team selection. What is up everyone, FPL Harry here and welcome back to another video. It is game week 12 team selection time. Of course it is a midweek deadline, so we only have 24 hours or a couple of days from the previous game week to finalise our teams going into game week 12. It is of course the midweek deadline as well, so no fixture for Manchester City or Arsenal, who a lot of us will own in our teams. And there have been a few injuries like Reece James and a few suspensions like James Maddison that have caused a bit of a headache in a lot of our teams. So today we're going to have a look at my game week 12 team selection, but just before we do, a very quick recap of how I got on in game week 11. It was a very good game week for me. I scored 58 points thanks to Dom Solanke getting that 12-pointer. Mitrovic, who did return, he did start, getting me that 7, and then Doherty, new transfer in, scoring 6, Trippier scoring 6 as well. And in goal, Gaeta finally getting me some points, a massive 11-point return from him. It moved me from 20k up to 9k. I am now inside the top 10k for the season. Very happy, hoping that I can finish about here going into the World Cup and then push on over the second half of the season. Like many others, I had a lot of points sat on my bench. I had Ward in goal, then I had Pereira and I have Grahy. But luckily my team did well enough that it's not too painful with the amount of points that I got in my bench. Let me know in the comment section how you got on. Did you leave a lot of points on your bench? But let's get into my team selection, potential transfers for game week 12 and anything I have confirmed already. So starting in midfield, the graphic has not changed. We look at Kevin De Bruyne and we look at Maddison. I'm pretty set on taking a -4 this game week to put out 11 players. If you only have 10 players, I would really consider taking a -4. It's basically only -2 when you take away the appearance points that the player you're bringing in and you're not going to have elsewhere is going to get. So a -2 for an additional midfielder when there are some really nice fixtures this week, I would definitely consider if you do only have 10 or even 9 players in your starting lineup. Now, Kevin De Bruyne to Mo Salah, I'm not going to beat about the bush. I was impressed enough with Mo Salah in game week 11 with his goal against Manchester City, his positioning as well, playing very central, and how involved he was compared to how involved he has been so far this season. So for me, Kevin De Bruyne to Mo Salah is pretty much confirmed. And then the other one is James Maddison. Now, doing this transfer, and because I've got a lot of money in the bank already, I could upgrade Trossard to a lot of midfielders. However, I have a transfer plan for future weeks, which I'll go through in a minute in future weeks, and Trossard is the one that really helps me with that. I don't have a lot of money in order to do the transfers I want later in the week, which is Andreas Pereira, all the way up to Phil Foden, and I need the money in the bank to do that. So I do think that James Maddison down to Trossard will allow me to do that transfer next week. If I try and upgrade him to someone more expensive like Sterling, who I could even go to, I wouldn't be able to do that next week. So Kevin De Bruyne to Mo Salah, and then we're looking at Maddison to Trossard are pretty much nailed on. And then looking at a defensive transfer. Now, I've got Reece James in my team, but looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold, looks like he's going to be back for game week 12, which is very annoying. I sold him instead of James this week, so I actually thought there was a chance James would be fit. I didn't think there was any chance that Trent would be fit, but it now looks the other way around. Trent came off the bench, and if I had him, I wouldn't have to take a -4. However, the money that I freed up selling Trent and I will free up selling Reece James is actually a lot more helpful than maybe the points I would have got going forward. So it is a bit of a silver lining, and I am happy with the transfer plans that I'm looking at in future weeks. James is going to go in place of a cheaper defender. Now, there are a few that I'm looking at. We've got Botman in here at Everton. We've got Kilman. We've got Gomez. Gomez is my favourite if we know that Konate and Matip are out for a few weeks. He looked really good against Manchester City, but there is a good chance that he does get rested if they play a lot of games and if there are other centre-backs fit. I will be keeping an eye on the press conferences to know if he is going to be available or not. Botman is a slight concern for me. He's probably my favourite out of the lot and going that double Newcastle defence. Again, they look really strong this season and particularly defensively. My only concern with going with Botman is that it leaves me with 2 Newcastle defenders and Doherty. Newcastle play against Tottenham in game week 13 and I would be left with a defence having to start probably at least 2 of these. That's not ideal, so I am looking elsewhere. The one I'm really favouring is Lewis Dunk, and although they didn't look great in the most previous game week in their fixture against Brentford where they did concede twice, that Nottingham Forest at home fixture and the way he rotates into my squad going forward makes him the favourite to be my -4 for him into my defence instead of Reece James. So this is how my team lines up for game week 12. I am considering a -4. Reece James to Lewis Dunk. That may be Gomez if we hear confirmed news that Konate and Matip are out for a few more game weeks. Then in midfield, we do look to do Maddison to Trossard and Kevin De Bruyne up to Mo Salah. In terms of my longer term transfer plans, this will then allow me to do Andreas Pereira up to Phil Foden, and actually leaves me enough in the bank to do Trossard then up to Saka after this game week as well. So I could be looking at another -4 going into game week 13, or one of those going into game week 14. Captaincy is undecided. I'm pretty sure I'll put it on Salah if I do bring him in, and Trossard will be my vice captain. Again, apologies for any issues on this video. I am currently kneeling on the floor while I'm on holiday trying to record this video with my camera and my mic. But if anything's off, let me know, but I apologise. I will be back later in this week to record videos from home where everything will be back to normal. Any questions you have going into Game Week 12, drop them in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like the video. We're going to hit 1,000 likes on this video. Subscribe before you go, and I'll be back again very soon.